Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today we had the first Descendant update 1.1.6 drop, so we will be going over that. More specifically, we're going to go over the reactor implant system, as well as the new resource defense changes to Albion, as well as some other changes that are very notable, some pretty big ones, and the weapon changes. So don't forget to like the video if it helped you out, comment any feedback you've got for me, and then subscribe if you feel that I've earned it. Let's hop right in though. We're going to jump right in. Hopefully the aspect ratio is a little bit better for this video. I'm probably going to start recording these videos in 16:9, so it's a little bit easier to read. We're going to zoom in a little bit, and then we will get started. So greetings, Descendants 1.1.6. So reactor implant. As we can see, little picture here, reactor info, material reactor, one that it looks like on the right is being like put into the one on the left. So it's going to be enduring legacy over the final masterpiece mounting that it currently has. Looks like the first optimization condition is going to be locked. However, if you take a look at what these three weapons are, we've got Sigvor's Proof, Last Dagger, and Final Masterpiece. So this means that my prediction could potentially be right. We're going to jump into game here in a sec to see what's going on, but I just wanted to put this video out. But yeah, it looks like my prediction might have been correct. We might be able to mount multiple weapon types or ammo types to the same reactor, which would be absolutely insane. So we're going to have to jump in and see, but this looks very promising. Last Dagger, Final Masterpiece, and it is going to be utilizing our precise ion accelerators. So that's also very exciting because those have just been sitting there doing nothing for me. I did craft some before we started this update as well, which is nice. So reactor implant function activated. Reactor implant training subquest is what you need to do. The subquest is available after completing the enhancement training subquest. So obviously most of us have probably done the enhancement training subquest. Ultimate tier reactors consume other ultimate tier reactors and enables implant for optimization conditions. So it's available on the workbench. Ultimate tier can have up to 3 different optimization conditions. We knew that. Implanted optimization conditions can be changed through implants. However, even if the reactor meets multiple optimization conditions, the skill power will increase only once. So it's not going to be 3x the boost. It's only going to be a 1 times boost to the skill power buff. It's not going to triple it, which I think was something that I didn't really think of. I didn't really think it would triple it. Thought it would just stay the same. So it's good that they're clarifying that. And then the other meat and potatoes here, or the potatoes, I guess, since that was the meat. And then we've got some green beans down here we'll talk about. The location of the Special Operation Resource Defense has been changed in Kingston, Echo Swamp, and Fortress Field. All waves have been shortened from 21 to 10, significantly increased the number of common and commander monsters appearing. Champion monsters now drop buff items similar to Special Operation Mine Blockade. And it looks like the number and probability for interim review stage reward and monster drop reward have been changed. So that means this is good. And then the best one, Albion Resource Defense's interim review stage weapon proficiency EXP ward has been added. So this is probably going to be the best way to farm XP. We're going to jump into the game right after this and see if we can make another video on that updated weapon XP to get some new updated guides out. So definitely subscribe and don't forget to join the Discord because I'll throw some updates there as well down in the description below. Also, we're doing this live on Twitch, so don't forget to follow me on Twitch down in the description below if you want to hang out when we're doing this. Module socket type auto application. When equipping module the same type as the slot socket type of the slot will automatically change. So instead of having to change the socket type, it just automatically changes in there. As you can see by this little animation, it's got a Cerulean, Malachite, and a Xantic. He throws a Cerulean in there, and it automatically changes to Cerulean. So that's a nice little quality of life change, honestly. So the old button has been removed with the way you could change it before, and now it's just automatic. Okay, so I'm going to make a separate video on the Descendant Dailies Tasks event, so definitely stay tuned for that. We do have a new daily tasks, and they are all really good. There's some nice ones since we had Freyna's End, so it's very nice that we had an event end and we have one start right after it, so we have that nice boost to rewards, kind of just steady, really good. I'm going to quickly go over these because not a lot of info is needed, but basically for as far as the shop, they've adjusted the Twisted Warship skin. It shows a little bit more cake now, and it got rid of the little hang down tail, but you can still use the hang down tail if you want. Moral of the story, and they're just saying, hey, we understand that you wanted to see more cake. Sorry about that, but also you can still use the tail if you want, and then you'll get the old skin and the new skin if you already own the skin. So there you go. And then we've got PS5 Pro enhanced update, so nice quality of life improvement for anybody who gets the new PS5 Pro. Congrats if you got one. I'm pretty sure that's going to be another case of the PS5, but I don't really know on PC. So yeah, that's nice. You get basically just nicer graphics, nicer frame rate on the PS5 Pro. It sounds like I have no idea what the specs are on it. I haven't really followed the PS5 Pro. Okay, so content improvements. So this is where we're going to jump into the monster reworks and the weapon reworks. So Vulgus Strategic Outpost. The UI has been modified to show the count on the left mission tracker only when Sharon neutralizes power units through the infiltration. So this is nice. This means that basically they've added a little UI element so that you can see probably how many of those machines you've disabled on Sharon. That's what it sounds like. And then you've got data collection missions. So this is for the mission where you have to collect the data. Users participating in other missions can no longer acquire collection discs. Time limit has been increased to 5 minutes for all data collection missions, and then it looks like they've changed a few missions around. So for Derelict Covert, Hagios' Dune Base, and Fractured Monolith, the number of available discs has been increased, and the acquisition flow has been changed, and the deployed moving actors has been rearranged into larger ones. So it's just going to be easier to do these missions, it sounds like, which is quite nice, if you ever do them or want to do them. Now let's talk about this. This is a big one. So monsters, the guidance trajectory of the guided projectiles of common and commander monsters has been completely reorganized. So with common monsters, all the aimbotters, I know you guys are I don't really know which one's the aimbotters. I think it's the Blazer or one of them. Maybe it's the Annihilator. I can't quite remember. All I know is all these say here is they have nerfed the aimbot of all the common monsters. And the fact that they were just absolutely aimbotting us wherever we went, just 100% hit rate, no matter how fast we're moving on bunny, grappling midair. That is a great change and an unexpected one as well. I'm very happy about this. I was really annoying to be hit all the time when you're moving. This is going to help our survivability substantially. So that's like adding a 50% HP buff probably to the game, honestly, because of how much these things hit. Hopefully they don't still have aimbot. Hopefully this change actually does something, but we'll see. And then they also did it for commander monsters. So all the commander monsters in the game have been, or not all of them, but most of them have been, the ones that aimbot at least have been reduced in the amount of aimbotting that they do. And then infiltration operations. So no resurrection zone has been deleted from the final battle section on normal difficulty so that players will be resurrected in place when killed. Nice. At 400% difficulty, Echo Swamps, the Chapel, is modified so that enhanced monsters appear evenly during the battle. There was a lot of elite spawning at random times, I think. Just makes it a little bit more smooth. And then they just straight up lowered the difficulty of normal. So that's interesting. Basically just said, hey, yeah, everything in normal has been lowered. Level 1 to maximum level 15. So yeah, it's going to be way easier to do normal content for people that are just starting out in the game. I haven't done normal content since day 2. So obviously other than farming like Thunder Cage and stuff like that. So this doesn't really affect me, but I'm glad because it's easier entrance, I guess, for some people to jump in, which is nice. Always love that. Main quest reward. Enhanced normal tier modules will be awarded upon completion of the main quest for each field from Kingston to Hagios. Nice. So that's also good too. Rewards for already completed quests will not be given retroactively. Okay, that's kind of toxic. So if you've already completed the quest and you want to get these mods, if you don't have them, you're going to have to go back and do them. But you probably have most modules if you're this far into the game. But if you are a new player, then you go back and do the normal quest and you'll get a bunch of modules. Okay, so this is the green beans that I was talking about. Meat, potatoes, and green beans. So we've got the weapons and modules. So some improvements have been made to the weapon specifications and unique abilities of 3 ultimate weapons. So first up, we have Final Masterpiece, Albion Cavalry, and Perforator. So 1, 2, 3. Not what I was expecting as far as weapon changes, but I'll take it because they're ones that nobody uses at all. Like literally at all. So I think Perforator was used for like week 1, and then when they buffed Nazistras, everybody started using Nazistras. So we're going to see here. So for Final Masterpiece, default firearm ATK has been increased. The effects have applied after reloading have changed, so that they've completely reworked the unique ability. So Exploding Ecstasy is now one of them. Restrained Dispassion, Pulsing Shock, and Endless Indulgence. And basically each one of these has a specific interaction whenever you've got the buff. So for the Exploding Ecstasy, there's a certain probability that a fire burst will occur at the hit location. Okay. When shooting while the Restrained Dispassion effect is active, there is a certain probability that a Frosty Burst will occur at the hit location, and Frostbite will be infected on the hit target. And then when shooting the Pulsing Shock effect is active, there is a certain probability that an electric shock will be applied to nearby targets. And then lastly, when in shooting while the Endless Indulgence effect is active, a puddle of indulgence is created at the hit location with a certain probability, and poison is applied to the target that touches the puddle. So this is going to be interesting for Freyna. Actually, I don't think Freyna really even needs this because she's already just one-shotting everything. However, that's interesting because it's an extra puddle that spawns. And I wonder if it spreads your poisons based on them being poisoned. I don't know. The one that I'm interested in is the Fire Burst, probably. Because that might do some Thunder Cage damage. We'll have to see. But, yeah, Final Masterpiece got a complete rework. We're going to have to see. We don't know for sure if this is going to be good. We just have to go into the game, test it out, see if it does a lot of damage, and then we'll go from there and kind of move it, synergize it into some builds. It's completely RNG. Every time you reload, one of these effects is given to you. So completely RNG. You're just going to keep reloading until you get the effect you want, and depends on how long it lasts and whatnot. But let's talk about the Albion Cavalry real quick. So when hitting an enemy, A mark effect is applied to the target, and when hitting an enemy with that mark effect, the critical hit rate is increased and applied. Okay, so you get a crit hit rate buff. We don't know if it's additive or multiplicative yet. I haven't jumped in game. However, this is automatically a pretty sick change, depending on how much that crit hit rate is. When a critical hit occurs, a ricochet occurs on surrounding enemies with a high ratio of current HP to maximum HP. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Enemies hit by the ricochet are given a stun effect. Wow. So for mobbing, you're just going to... Maybe this thing will be crazy for AoE mobbing now. You just shoot this thing and it just goes around everything and stuns it. And then while it's stunned, you can use like Sharon, or you can use things that do increased damage to stunned enemies. That's crazy. When you keep shooting continuously, you will be given the horseshoe effect, and your movement speed while firing and movement speed while aiming will increase. Damn, okay, so you're literally going to get a buff that basically increases your mobility while firing, which is my main gripe with LMGs in this game, is how slow you are when you're shooting. So this is very interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to trying this out. Perforator. We'll hop over to Perforator next. When a critical hit occurs or a weak point is hit, an explosive scanner is created. Explosive scanner explodes when it touches terrain or enemies, causing damage to enemies with the explosion range and... causing damage to enemies within the explosion range and providing the detect effect. When hitting an enemy with the detect effect, the weak point damage is increased and applied. Interesting. So you get a giant weak point buff after you get a crit or a weak point. Interesting. Another one we're gonna have to wait and use in game, but they seem like complete reworks. So I'm kind of excited to try those out. Even if you cannot acquire any more modules because you have the maximum number of modules, this is such a huge change. If you attempt to acquire the drop Transcendent module, it will be treated as lost. That is huge. Farming destinations for some modules have been added. This is insane. I'm excited to even talk about this one. I know a lot of people are going to love this change. This is just a huge, huge win. Modules that were only obtainable through combining modules. So for example, bullet integration, which I think they're talking about the intensive mods that they just added, because I don't know of any bullet integration mods. Shot focus, again misspelled, hardline suppression, shield collector, and hyper focus can now all be farmed in farming content. So they're going to have missions that we can get, ladies and gentlemen. This is very, very exciting. Super annoying. Combine only modules are super annoying. So this is a huge win for everybody that plays the game. Modules that were only obtainable through ultra precise encrypted vault rewards. So we are talking about Enzo right now. These can now also be acquired as precise encrypted vault rewards through the module synthesis. So this means the blue vaults and the combining modules, you can now get Enzo's mods, guys. He's not going to be farmable. They're not going to be farmable on missions, but all of the blue code breakers that you have and all of the red ones that you have, you can now combine with a chance to get Enzo's mods. Very good change. I still don't even have half of Enzo, even 3 out of the 4 Enzo mods. So this is absolutely a welcome change. Now we've got modules that were only obtainable through hard difficulty intercept battles and combining modules. So these are things like all the ones for Descendants, the red mods that, give your creative explosion, proliferating allergy, all these ones that are available from bosses only. They can be acquired as hard infiltration operation completion rewards, which is really nice. Obviously, we're doing a lot of those these days with ETA 0. And then we've got this one. So modules that were only obtainable through hard difficulty infiltration operations can now also be acquired from the 400%. We're doing these even more with ETA 0. So this is just a bunch of synergy basically for doing 400%. We're going to get a ton of red mods, and we can combine those red mods to get Enzo's new mods. And we can also farm all these mods. So really, really exciting stuff. Good changes. That's about the brunt of the big changes. We are going to get into like the smaller changes, the bug fixes, the UI. So fair warning. Let's jump into it. So first and foremost, you've got the user interface. In the interim review of the special operations, the waiting time has been modified to shorten if all participants make different choices. The only ones I'm really going to go over are the notable ones here. So a lot of changes to the research window. So from Anais, if you're doing a lot of research, a lot of quality of life changes for Anais and the research inventory through the consumable inventory, etc. You'll see a lot of changes there. Not going to spend all the time going over all these because they're very small and they all add up. Also, the preset slot increase details have been added to the master rank benefits. They were not there before. You do get preset slots for increasing your master rank. Nobody knew because they didn't show it there, but now they will show you that you do get them. You still got them before, but now you know that you get them by reading it. The exclude from junk filter has been adjusted to improve ease of use. And then the event tab will now be prioritized and displayed by default in the pause menu if no challenge objectives are set in the main menu. They did some console changes here, and then the sales period is no longer visible for unpaid products. Information message displayed as the blueprint sales function is unlocked at Master Rank 10 has been improved. A bunch of small changes there. And then some bug fixes. I'm not going to go over every single one. Moral of the story here, guys. All of these changes for bug fixes are a lot of characters getting stuck and them fixing the terrain in those missions where basically the characters just get stuck on random bits, things sticking out of the ground. And then a lot of issues where people could not join missions in certain missions with other people. Joining failed, etc., etc. So small changes there. Descendants, not a huge amount of changes here. I was really hoping to see Jaber's name in here, but Jaber's name is not in here. It's actually in the shop section, so we're going to see that in a second. But no big changes to Jaber. This is mainly for Freyna. A lot of Freyna's abilities were not showing correctly in the notation screen. Basically, the max expandable range, the toxic puddle, continuous damage section, all that stuff. You'll see a lot of things properly reflected in the notation screen for Freyna. And then Esimo obviously had some issues with his skins, and now your shoulder bomb is going to show on those skins. Now we got weapons and modules and the bug fixes. So a lot of notation changes. They've unified the multiplicative and additive, so plus and percentage in the unique window and everything like that. Guardian Lance, no more are you going to see everybody's lance when they're aiming it. You're only going to see it when it's placed down. You can only see your own when you're aiming it. It's nice. And they've also fixed the classic. This has been here since launch. They are not displayed. When wearing modules that increase the stats below, the stats have been modified so they're not displayed separately in the module window, but are displayed as correct sums. So this is for all the secondary modular types. So fusion, singular, dimension, and tech. All those were not displaying correctly. Now they will. And then UI, user interface, and UX. This is just a bunch of bug fixes as far as infiltration operation stuff, Moongrave, markers and stuff like that. Nothing big. Customization. So an issue where Jaber's thighs appeared constricted when wearing his gentlemanly skin and summer vacation skin. So not where we wanted to see Jaber's name. F in the chat for Jaber. F in the comments. Don't be afraid to throw an F in the comments for Jaber. His thighs appeared constricted. It's unfortunate. So is his whole kit. His whole kit is appearing constricted. Fixed an issue where the thighs of Ultimate Freyna's toxic plant disposal skin looked unnatural during the belly button salute and grotesque zombie emote. So a bunch of changes there. And then I want to end the video with the director's additional comment because it's something we can get excited over, I think. It's a day away. So this is Misc Ju, director of the First Descendant. On October 31st, tomorrow, we plan to share the dev team's thoughts and direction regarding key suggestions raised by Descendant since the Season 1 update. A dedicated community Q&A will be posted, covering topics such as combat, content, products, and customization to provide detailed responses. We apologize for not having been able to fully engage with you as we focused on updates and hotfixes. Please look forward to the community Q&A on October 31st for more information. Thank you for your interest, and we are always listening to your feedback. So it's exciting stuff. That's been the video, guys. Don't forget to like if it helped. Comment anything you've got for me, feedback-wise, what you want to see, videos in the future. Always very helpful, guys. And then subscribe if you feel that I've earned it. Check me out on Twitch. We're live doing this right now. And I'll see you guys in the next one, probably pretty soon here, because we're going to go do some testing in-game and see what the deal is. But yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Peace out. Goodbye.